intro.
Hello, everyone, to Powermines Crypto, and hello to chat. Hello to Powermines. Hello to me,
Why does
Lazzeruz.
Discord like to be a
Already having problems
Discord's
apparently.
being a bum? Discord's being a bum.
Too bad.
So the stream says we are joined by New England. He isn't in. He had some things come up. He's working at his facility, so he might be in. He might not be. We'll see. I just want to put that out there because we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Interesting things could occur during this live stream.
Yes.
Laz, do you want to present your screen?
Yes.
Well, I think we should get into it and say thank you to the sponsor of the stream, Costa Crypto. You can use our QR code there, or you can use code PMC at checkout. We have a couple other people that work with the channel. We are not 100% affiliated with Coastal in any way. We're just a part of their affiliate system. So if you do decide to buy from them, you can save 2% using me and Liza's code. You can also buy from New England Crypto. We do have no affiliation with New England Crypto. We actually bought a KS0 from them. We paid too much because it was our own fault. We bought their own batch. It was nothing on New England Crypto's fault. He's done more than more than anything. He's done more than I think anyone that has helped the channel do, except for Captain Mining with the KS3s or KS L3 pluses. I can figure. Yeah. I can say things some days,
Yes, and the mysterious donor from a few.
Some days ago. My brain. Some days my brain doesn't want to say. Some days my brain wants to say yes, but it says no.
But my body. That's how far we can go with copyright claims and stuff.
Yeah, except for the music we use during this live stream because it's Lazzeruz's.
Right. Actually working on new stuff like this morning already, so maybe we have new music soon. Yes.
What's up, Smokey Dan? How's it going?
Hello. How we doing? So
I like how I asked you to test a code, and I like how I asked you to test something and you don't test it, so I had to test it.
Oh yeah. If you wanna do !! support, that sends a link to yourself.
Basket. I'm testing. Laz, we can see everything, by the way.
I know. Oh. Apparently.
SUPPORT? English is tough. English is difficult.
Go.
There. Oh. Okay, there it is. Perfect. Sweet. Thank you. Good. Nice. Listen,
we're doing 50,000 things at once. Don't worry about it. No.
Listen, we're trying to get this stream ready because Panda is still live, and he might possibly come here, depending. Don't know what could happen. It's a Powermines Crypto stream. I mean, me and Laz are about to literally fall asleep, and then we got donated $1,800.
Stream borked.
What?
Seems.
What did you do?
I don't know.
It's still working for me.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Weird.
What did Laz break now?
I'm doing too much safe stuff
at
once.
It's still working now. Is everybody still there? Type 1 in the chat if things are still working. Please.
Ooh. Okay, then it's apparently just my my YouTube. Never mind. We'll keep on going.
One.
No.
Nice. Ignoring me in Panda chat. Yeah, I know. I can't even type in his chat. This is bullcrap.
Yes.
I don't know what he did. He must have misclicked fat fingered furry. But always here, gaming with Smokey Dan, you're always welcome here.
What's this? Get the top here.
Can you stop breaking things, Laz?
I don't know. really don't know. Like it's saying like sharing stuff to StreamYard.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, it's because you're sharing your screen. Oh, it's saying that in the bottom of your screen. It doesn't show it.
No, at the top of the screen.
It's not.
So yeah.
Laz, it's broken again. The goal's gone. What do you do every day to break this?
The goal is not gone. It's on the top left.
Oh, never mind. I was just scrolled down too much. Hashtag blame PMC.
Yeah. I'm currently a little bit out of it because my apparently my thing wants to keep buffering on my second screen.
Oh, it always does that. It always does that.
For me, it doesn't.
But stream's looking stable, so that's good.
Okay.
So let's talk about a few things. We're going to talk about the markets.
Yes.
We're going to talk possibly some hardware. We're going to talk about some future plans.
Yes.
Some right now we need to get this done sort of plans, and well, big future plans, and where things need to move to be at what we need.
Yeah.
And maybe prices that we might sell at. So, so if anybody has any questions, now would be a good time to put them in the chat. If you do want to join the StreamYard with me and Laz and ask your questions or anything like that, the pinned comment at the top that is highlighted in blue, that is where you can actually join in and chat and maybe even talk a little bit about yourself and stuff like that.
No. I don't need dominance, so I need anyways. It's been a bit of a green day.
It's been a day, all right.
No.
We've had a couple things happen today that we've looked into, and did you by chance hear back from any of those companies by chance?
Not yet. No, I haven't had the chance to.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna message them. Never mind.
No.
And we're not gonna tell you. We are not gonna tell you because the last person we told about our plans, I think, went and bought all of them.
Yes. So,
can't win.
So,
cannot win. So,
as you can see behind me, and behind me, like there, we have some green candles.
That PC looks absolutely fire in the background, Laz. Look at the blue on that PC.
Look at my candle.
Okay, well, no need to worry about that with me. Touche. Because you would tell us if you were to buy something that we were looking into.
Apparently, I have to share my entire screen or something.
Just
window, I guess. Always. Yeah.
No, share window. And then you should be able to do the thing that you wanted to do. And then I have to click on this.
Yeah.
Oh, you're doing this? You don't use Coin 360?
360?
Yeah, that's the other big one.
We have stuff ready, I swear. Oh, yeah, this is the better one. Yeah, I was actually searching for this one.
Yeah, 100%. Nice. I have my own plans, plus cheaper to get my side. Yes, 100%. 100%. I agree with anybody that says it's free power. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
You don't. So, slight update. We're still waiting to order frames. because we do. Should we tell them, Les?
Oh yeah, sure. Go ahead.
We technically have 1,200 that we owe somebody for power from last year. Well, not just power, but a couple other things, and that is US. So it's about 1,600 Canadian that we owe someone else. So we're just kind of waiting till coins go up, and then we'll sell the coins, use the coins for power, and then use the leftover for frames.
Yep.
So, and plus, the longer we wait on the frames, the less work it is for Powermines to move them.
Yeah, that's
Don't
why
need
we
power to
also had
put
the
his
dono
back in.
goal for 70 days.
Yeah. I
No.
mean, technically, we could lower that until Powermines turns 19.
No, true. Yeah,
Party
we
in
might
the
even
USA.
look at putting up another dono goal if we want to.
Possibly.
Hmm.
Possibly.
Hi,
Financial
financial
failure
failure.
just showing up. Just showing a little love here too. Keep it up. Yeah, sweet.
Thank you.
Thank you, financial failure, for popping in. I've seen you in the Panda stream, so
Welcome.
so what we need is Panda to raid. LOL. So Les,
Yes.
let's talk about Bitcoin for a minute. It's moving,
Yes.
but it's moving in a way that it's okay. Don't get me wrong. It's great to see Bitcoin move, but I bet you there's about 100,000 other projects that you could have made more than 5.4% on.
Yeah.
And think about it. If you think about it, it would have been cheaper to buy in,
Yeah.
and realistically, if you buy a full Bitcoin, you're only going to make 5.4% profit. There's other projects that you could put like a couple $100 into and become a millionaire on within a
Yeah.
couple of months. So,
But that's the difference between buying what is obvious and buying what you researched.
well, it's like I was talking to someone today, and they were saying that look into, I forget what it was, Frycoin, FRY. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, Laz.
No.
But I'm like, okay, you want to get into mining, you don't even know your electric rate. You want to get into nodes, you're downloading free software for nodes and stuff and saying it's a legit project. You don't know that. You're wanting to buy a license to run a node. I'm like, nodes, there's no money in. It's one thing if you have the coins or, the license is free and you need 100,000 coins and you have those coins sitting around. But a basic node does not do you anything except cost you money, because it costs you money to buy it, costs you money to run it, and it costs you money to keep it maintained. Right? And if you don't even know your power rate, I wouldn't be mine. And this guy said, well, I'm 80% of the income or something because it's his, it was him and someone else that live in a house together. And I'm like, you get a Bitmain ASIC and you plug it in there, you're doubling. Like, I think their power rate was like 300 or 500 bucks a month US. So that's cheap. And I'm like, you get a Bitmain ASIC, you're looking at doubling that.
Yeah.
Probably. Easily doubling that. So, there is small miners and stuff, I said, but you're not gonna get what you're gonna want. I mean, it's not, the person doesn't have a high budget either, so it limits them there too to be able to get. Because he was looking at a KS miner. I'm like, please don't. I mean, supposedly Ice River just released another miner that's a KS0 Pro, but it's green. Like, I mean, a shitty green. Let's look it up on chat. IceRiver.io. It's a shitty green. It's a shitty looking green.
Special
Just click on
commemorative
shop.
edition.
It's a shitty green.
Well, especially on this picture, yeah, but it's close enough to Caspa's actual green, but not quite.
Nothing I'd want to buy.
Yeah.
Only note I think worth it would be BTC and Monero as well. I mean, personally, me and Laz technically have a node right now,
Yeah.
technically, and we're running it through iNode, so we don't have a hardware cost. They're taking a small fee off it, but the fee is really not much. Like the fee that they're taking would be not even a hundredth of what our power would be to run something like that. And we're
Yeah.
making 50% on it, and that is a Neoxa node.
Well, technically we have other nodes, but those are just to run early projects.
Yeah.
And those aren't like staking nodes, those are just
Yeah.
daemon nodes basically.
100% game of Smoke Dance.
Yeah.
Someone spray painted a few for extra bucks to ship the backstock.
Yeah.
Yep. That sounds about right.
Yeah, I took like the closest to the actual color of Caspa and then painted it
Yeah.
on there.
That's actually sadly kind of sounds about right.
Yeah.
Because I mean, people aren't wanting to buy them, really.
Yeah.
Do you guys solo mine to your own nodes? No, we don't solo mine. We pool mine as much as possible. Like most projects that we've done, we've pool mined because we
Yeah,
just don't have enough hash rate for it to make sense for us to solo mine.
I've mined solo in the past, but it's just you can do
It's
so
a,
for a day and a
it's
half, and then it's not doable anymore. If
you're
you
better
find
off
something
just
early.
waiting. You're better off
Yeah.
waiting for a pool because within an hour or
Yeah.
two, we have friends that will have the pools up.
Yeah. Give me a second. I'm just gonna grab some.
Yeah. Well, I think KLS total. Let me tell you, total KLS hash rate. Um, total Carlson hash that we have total is actually Laz has some GPUs up. Laz, when your rigs are broke,
Yeah. With what?
restarting. Both have broken shit in them. So I actually have to wait for those to reboot to give you a good price. What are we mining? So your EK, we are mining Carlson to Neoxa on the GPUs on unminable. We're mining Cedra on the KS0, which I don't recommend mining because the market's been very funny with it. And then I run Coin on 5HS boxes. On the PC when it's not being used type of thing, I run Ravencoin. What's
Yeah,
up?
and on my
It's me.
PC whenever I'm not busy on it for a few days, I mine some Zephyr.
What's up? It's me. How's it going?
Hello.
Panda, I think, is dropping out. Oh. So there's just it's not yeah, I'm just waiting. I think we're around 16 to 17 gigahash on Carlson hash. If I'm 17.33 gigahash on
Yeah,
Carlson hash.
that would make sense.
With everything. And that's like Lazzeruz GPUs, my GPUs. That's like every GPU we got that's able to run safely. And I put safely in keywords.
Yes.
So yeah. So ooh, Solana's doing something. I've been soloing Carlson with wow 27, doing okay. So yeah, we're not really mining Carlson. We're mining Carlson due to the low wattage to Neoxa using a mineable because we don't want to be running the extra wattage. It's probably not as efficient, but it's probably saving us about probably in long terms probably a couple bucks a day in power, if not more.
Yeah. True.
Easily a couple bucks a day in power. So yeah, I'm on Carlson for the low watt. Yeah, exactly. I mean, we've been on what other coins was it last? I mean, the last big power hungry coin we were mining was Flux, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
I think Flux.
True.
And that was months ago. Like
It was actually
6 months ago probably.
quite a few months ago, yeah.
I'm actually building a bag of Carlson though too. It's interesting. I mean, Carlson's the OG. I would say the OG cast before, but it's also hard because they want to switch it up they want to switch it so much that eventually people are just going to get annoyed of it and forget about it because they want to switch it if there's a new bit stream made for an FPGA, they want to switch it. So people are just going to get annoyed of it. So people are going to move on to like Cedra.
No.
Even Nexelia. I mean, Panda also just wrapped up. But for us, like, the only reason we're mining Cedra is just because we had it on, took us a minute, and we're just leaving it on there. Because we're really not making anything with... We're not making anything with kaspa. Like, let's be honest here. We're not making anything with kaspa. Like,
about
by the time we factor in the time...
2 days.
Not even a buck. Probably about 50 cents a day after power.
Yeah, like a buck every 2 days.
But here's the thing, though. It's me. You have KS3Ms and KS... You have 3 KS2s, 2 or 3 KS3Ms. You are better mining kaspa because you will always have that value. Cedra, it could go to 0 tomorrow. It's better in a KS0 Pro. It's better. We have a KS0 because that's what we bought. Like, we bought ours well before the KS0 Pro, and we haven't even broken half. Really. So yeah. I mean, we mined it literally the minute it went mainstream. But like, it's me. Like, when you have a KS3M and KS32s, I would just mine kaspa. Yeah, you might not be making as much, but you're gonna have a more stable value. And I think Laz would agree with me on that.
Yeah, true. Like, unless there's an actual fork, like the first few days, I would say just stay on kaspa. I might even say to Power to move back to kaspa soon enough.
Yeah. Like, I mean, the only reason we're staying on Cedra is because it's 65 watts. I mean, even the Cedra payments, like, from day one, we made like 20,000 Cedra.
Now we're making
the next day we made a few hundred a day. Not enough for it to make sense. So
let me quickly check on another screen, like what the earnings were today.
As far as I know, you can't mine Cedra using... I'm not sure, Ark, because we haven't overclocked ours. We just haven't, due to the simple fact is we don't have the power supply upgrades and everything like that.
Yeah, and I think you should be able to, unless PB Farmer actually does something weird.
I don't see why you couldn't. That's my thing. Yeah. I don't see why you couldn't.
No.
Like, simply put it to the facts, I don't see why you couldn't mine with overclocks. I mean, it's the same algorithm. Like, there's nothing different about it other than it's pretty much a name change.
Yeah.
It's pretty much Kaspa with Cedra instead of Kaspa.
Yeah.
It's
So
not a huge amount of difference.
yeah. So this is basically our income on Cedra for the last 2 weeks. It started with a few thousands, and then went down to about 300 today. It's probably around up to. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's not. If we weren't using something that was 65 watts, it would be a huge difference.
Yeah, we wouldn't even be on it at the moment.
Realistic.
It's just we
but it's
cannot be bothered
65 watts.
at the moment.
Yeah, we have better
Yeah.
things. No offense, but we have
Yeah.
more important, better things to worry about.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the price is Cedra too. Like, I mean, we're lucky. It just got listed on Segex today or yesterday.
I
And
mean,
that's
Ark, if oh sorry, go ahead.
okay. But here's the thing, though, it's me. If you are not taking that Cedra and selling it immediately and then putting it into Kaspa, you're losing out on money. And by the time you pay all those fees and stuff with transferring it, you might as well just mine the Kaspa.
Yeah, at the moment,
Just give me 1 second.
you can technically mine it to a place like Segex, which has low fees, and then like not directly to Segex. I don't really condone like mining directly to a pool. I mean directly to a exchange, although it can help with new coins, but you can just swap it over to Casper and stuff. Yeah. And the reason I heard was because PB Farmer mines definitely on Casper blockchain. I would say if it mines on the Casper blockchain and it uses K heavy hash, which is just the Casper algorithm, I don't see that it's that much difference.
I'm back.
Hello, welcome back. Like it should just be able to go from one of the coins to the other coin, because there's not really a difference between the different algos. It's like it's exactly the same algorithm between Cedra
You're
and
better off. And here's
Casper.
the other thing too. I'm pretty sure with asics too, the longer you leave them on the pool, the more stable it's going to be, and the more stable your rewards are, and the more, actual activity you'll actually get. And it's just like, I forget how it works, but my GPU, when I was mining Ravencoin on Wooly Pooly,
Yeah.
I took it off for a week, and I mined for and let alone I was mining for a couple months straight, and my effort and luck was great. Took it off for a day or two because power outage and stuff went back. It just cut everything to hell, and it was like done. I was like, well, that was not worth it. So I would recommend, if you have one KS2 on it on Cedra, do it. That's fine. But I wouldn't move all your farm onto Cedra. I would just leave it on Kaspa. It'll be a safer bet long term and short term, because if we look at the price of Cedra in the last day, it's been
all over the place.
literally to the point where, yeah, it's doing the Mount Everest.
Yeah, because I'm not sure if.
And here's the thing too, is you're saying spec mining. Spec mining is a little different when you're on your scale. When you have a KS0, you can spec mine a little bit because it's not like it's a crap ton of wattage. And you're also in Europe where the power's not the cheapest. And at least here it's not too bad, but running 65 watts is a lot better than running 3,500 watts times 4, for example. So you're better off mining something that you know. You're better off mining something that you know is gonna somewhat hold its value than something that you're truly gambling on.
Yeah, and technically, Cedra is currently less profitable than kaspa, according to hash rate.
It all depends on your power rate,
No,
which
it's
I mean, in gen, yeah,
like kaspa and Cedra. They just flipped. Kaspa is more
yeah,
profitable.
yeah.
No. Cool.
So yeah, it's definitely it's gambling, but you need to be like, it's one thing if you can think it's good. Like if it was day one of Cedra, I'd be like,
Mhm.
get everything on it.
Yeah.
But relating to Cedra, I mean, hash rate's gone nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, so
Yeah.
what can you do? Can't really do much.
Not sure.
So I would not recommend mining Cedra with more of your asics than not what you already have.
Yeah, because it has leveled out with kaspa and profitability as well. So
Yeah.
it isn't
And I
really
mean, I'm
like
gonna be
a
honest. Realistically, me and Laz also put some money into it. Well, Laz put some money into it, and we've gotten our money back,
you
and we're still technically up on that investment, but we're kind of holding out for a certain number.
know.
What did you say, R? What do you mean by that? Need to find these folks
Forks.
before they come YouTube famous. Well, I mean, you do see the top donator. So I don't know if you can call us famous for that, but
Well,
I'd
no.
almost consider it.
You need to find these forks before they become YouTube videos.
Oh, forks. I thought he said folks.
Yeah.
That to buy cards for the frames or something else. Actually, it's to buy frames.
It's
We
you
have
can
we
pay
have
power and stuff.
we have a
Oh.
what's the offer? We have agreed to purchase
Mhm.
40 frames and like 36 stacking parts, so 36 sets of these,
Uh-huh.
and each one of these requires like 8 screws. So Powermines is gonna be very busy.
Yeah.
Almost 1,000 screws just to stack the frames, not including how many frame screws it takes to assemble the frame. Yeah, Powermines' hand's gonna fall the frig off. So we're planning on building what we like to call the wall. So it's gonna be 4 frames wide, 4 frames high, 196 GPUs, and we're gonna actually buy some of the cheaper end GPUs like P106s and 30HXs, and we're gonna load them in that, and that's just gonna be spec mining when we want to mine a coin. For
We're
example,
going
when
to build
Nixelli
a
came out,
wall.
uh, when we're trying to build, when we're mining Nixelli, we rented hash rate. And after renting the hash rate, we were like, this is stupid. We need to just buy our own hash rate, have our own compute. Yeah, it's going to cost us more now, but we're not going to have to do this stupid BS again, trying to find people to negotiate with.
Yeah, and then we bought Cedra, but I was like basically like, we still need our own power on like mineable
Yeah,
coins. Yeah.
possibly Arc. What are they? What are they by chance? Because I might be interested. Because I have one right now, but I have a couple B250s I'm trying to experiment with. And actually, last that would fill up the other H110 in the basement.
Yeah.
Shame on it if you can try to get the same card, having different types of cards. Yes, that is why we're looking to buy P106s in bulk. Like,
No.
no, we're actually looking to buy one type. Like there's a couple companies that we've found
No.
that we're looking to actually do about 2 walls of P106s, 1 wall of 30HXs, and we're gonna try to do the P106s or P104s first because they're cheaper, but we're gonna try to buy a lot of them.
No.
We're talking like 200 or 400 cards in one purchase. Possible.
Like, Mark, how much do you want for them? Just to get an
It
idea.
also depends on where he is. I'm not paying to ship them from overseas unless they're going to your place.
Hey, if it's from Asia, maybe not. No.
But yeah, we might be interested.
No.
Possibly. Depends. Because, I mean, we found them fairly cheap. Like, we can get those. Okay, that's not horrible. Minnesota. That's not horrible. That's not horrible.
That's good.
But yeah, we might be interested in them.
Yeah.
I mean, we found them. We could get them new for pretty freaking cheap. Wasn't it like $30 a card shipped? No. Yeah, because
25 to 30.
no, those were for P.
Oh yeah.
The 30HXs were like, I'm pretty sure they're like 50 US each, brand new, shipped from China. So realistically, used, we would want to probably be at like $30 US ship.
Yeah, $5 per
card. I mean, we'd really have to figure out what the shipping would be on them, but we might be interested. But I mean, we have a couple things we need to pay for first, like pay back the power from last spring and get the frames ordered. Yeah. I mean, we can go buy them brand new for $50 a piece shipped to us. To my front door, $50 USD, brand new, Asus Dual, you know. So, I mean, we can look at mine, the ASIC today, and see if. Ooh. Not.
There it goes. I don't think I've ever played the game Green Hell, but I think this is basically the gameplay.
Oh, New England's coming.
Nice.
I'll get him in. He's coming down the railroad tracks. He's coming down the railroad. If I did that, I'd be selling 5.3 gigahash of Carlson for. I mean, and I know that's a slow offer, but you can buy them for about that. So I mean, like, realistically, I go buy the new ones for an extra $20 a piece.
No.
And I mean, that's buying them in quantities of 10. I mean, I've inquired about buying a huge lot of them, and they're still working on trying to figure that out. I mean, you can even find places on Alibaba for like $36 a USD a card. Then you have to pay the shipping, but to be honest, I'd probably just keep them. I mean, they're gonna be good in the bull run. I mean, they're essentially a. Yeah, we can get the P106 is cheaper than that in New England, and we don't even have to pay shipping because you're not including the shipping on those P106s. I mean, actually, let me just look here because I'll actually look into this new. I'll look into the P106s from just so people have an idea. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
So let's see. How many do they have? 400 of these. They do not have that many. How many do you got? How many of these do they got? Do they have 100 of these?
So, how is the red furry doing?
Oh,
Here
wow.
comes trouble. Oh, no.
Panda, can we just talk about how I can't chat in your chat? Yeah, you know. I
Yeah,
felt like an animal caged.
yeah, you were going livid, like with those like those bars and like an ape.
Let me out! Let me out of here! So for 25 of those P106s,
Yeah.
I'm just give you a second here.
Powermines just yeah, it kind of just gets the no from
It would
YouTube
be
apparently.
just for 25 of them. It'd be almost $200 to ship them. I don't know, Panda.
I think the furry beast has banned you.
So you're looking at probably about $40 USD a card ship from Nerd Gears. I mean, we can get them for less than that. About half of that, probably.
No. But Power, will you be unbanned?
That's the real question here.
That's the real question here. Thank you for checking.
Thanks, Panda.
Bitcoin is just going up
Here.
at the moment. Just look at it. That's a boner if I've seen one.
Now, can we talk? Now, see a coin doing anything?
Yeah, it's going down.
P106s are essentially a 1060 in some ways, but they're a little more efficient from my understanding due to the fact they don't have all the inputs and outputs in.
Yeah, and technically, if you discard the room they take up, they are cheaper than 3070s for every gigahash.
Yeah,
like not in power price, but in
upfront. Here's the thing though. I want to make this clear. We would be buying these for low power algos, like Carlson hash, K heavy hash modded, K heavy hash. You know, any of these low power coins, like even like something even as close to flux would be pushing it for us.
Yeah.
And we also said to ourselves, like, if we are not making double what these GPUs or triple what these GPUs are costing us, we're not doing it. Because just for 196 on Carlson, from just rough math, we would be looking at about 1,000 US at 1250 US per kilowatt.
Yeah, so we're gonna build about that's 10, 20 GPU rigs.
No.
Just to flex on Panda.
No, Les, you're forgetting. Yeah. We're doing 2 walls of P106s.
Oh yes, of course. We're doing 20 GPUs.
Yeah, so we're gonna have 400 P106s, 230 HXs eventually, and then we're gonna be like, hey Panda, like our GPUs.
No worries.
Yeah, no problem.
England. Yeah. Yeah, so we're going to have 20 like 10 40 GPU rigs. We're gonna have we're gonna have 200 GPU rigs.
Yeah. So Red Panda, so you know those AAA wayframes you bought and then used for like a month and then decided, oh screw this, we're gonna go with Octominers. Yeah, we're gonna have like 48 of those fully loaded. 12 GPU wide.
Yes.
And guess what? Thanks for the idea of Pico adapters, because I'm going to use Pico adapters instead of ATX power supplies on my rigs.
Yes, we're going to burn the shit down.
So you can keep things cheap. Yeah. 48 frames is what we'll have. So it's going to be 3 walls of 16 frames apiece. So they're going to be 4x4 stacked.
Yeah.
Burn stuff down. Perfect.
Yes.
Hey, Panda. Hey, just walk in the building and it will dry your fur out.
Yes.
Walk in hair dryer.
just like a sauna in there, but with wind.
Yeah.
Because all the
Who needs an
fans would
E9
be.
when you got 600 GPUs sitting around? Hey, at least we'll be like Panda. We'll have
Yeah.
600 GPUs sitting idle until the spec coin comes out.
Yes.
Bearddryer.com.
That's good for New England and me. Yeah. Like, my beard will be frosty if I'm over there, by the way.
New England, when you come up, you'll have to see it. It will be funny if we can get it to do what we want.
New England, if you ever jump into the river, like near Power, if you come out and it's winter, you'll just have like a giant ice spike here.
New England, it might just unplug and replug it back in, reboot.
Yeah.
It might not be saying anything because it doesn't usually show you audio. I mean, I know someone better. Where's Yankee? Where's Yankee?
I just give it a little loft tap with the hammer.
No. Pew pew.
Yeah.
That's where Red Panda's L3 went. That's where Red Panda's L3 went, and then never came back.
I don't have a hammer. Yeah.
Red Panda's L3 went to Yankee, and then never came back, except for a big bullet hole. Poor L3. L3 abuse. Hey, New England, we have a thing up here called weed.
Oh, also here. Technically, we can both smoke on stream.
Except you can do shrooms and I can't.
Well, technically, it's shrooms, not potos. No. Like it's certain types of shrooms we are allowed to do here.
Drugs.
Don't do kids drugs. Don't do drugs, kids.
Because then you won't have money for mining.
No. No.
Good grief.
Yeah, I think I'm going to ban that Streamlabs guy for trying to keep promoted like a link.
Yeah, who's the one that set that up at 10 minutes when I said do 20?
Set 15 or 10.
Hashtag blameless.
He said 10, 15, 20, so I was basically 10.
He just randomly pressed a number on his keyboard and said, oh, that's gonna work just fine.
It's fine. Yeah.
Is he going over a cent? It's still over a cent. New England crypto.
Yeah. So, Panda, do you want to join in?
Get into mining, they said. It will be fun, they said. You can make money, they said. But when? Never.
You wrote that wrong. It's W-E-N, not W-H-A-N.
Hey, Laz. Right. So far, I have lost more money than I have made with mining. Yeah, I think we all have. Oh, look. Look who is. Welcome.
Oh, hello there. Hello, welcome in.
So I heard you want to take that headset and throw it somewhere.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes.
Yep.
Please tell me you can hear me.
I can hear you.
Is it loud enough?
So I heard you want to. Yeah. Perfect.
Oh my god.
I heard you wanted. I heard you wanted to stick that Mike Summers for a double.
Very
The trash
close to
can?
getting snatched. I got it though.
Okay, good.
I got it.
Welcome in.
I spot a bearded dragon. Wow, smoking in. Just wow.
I've been called worse.
I
I'll
like
take
your
it.
beard. It's bigger than mine.
Yeah. I hear
Wow, is that
a
how you
lot.
think of it, Laz?
I get that a lot, actually.
Is that the L3 in the background I see?
No, that's Stella's new S9.
Ooh.
Gotta
Nice.
teach her to diversify.
Yes.
She might have been better buying an S15, an S19 here in a couple of weeks.
We've got those too. We're just trying to
Yeah.
give
Oh,
her
yeah.
something.
S9 is definitely a good starting Bitcoin machine.
She unplugs and plugs or turns things on and off, like especially if they're in her room or in a room that she
Yeah.
does like art and crafts or whatever.
Yeah.
So we try to start her off nice and light so nothing gets
Yeah.
fried.
Yeah. I mean, when I kind of got the L3s first, same kind of way, because like I didn't want to go into buying a bigger machine. Like I wanted something that is on the pro level, but not,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
not gonna. Oh, I fried that. Yep, bye $6,000.
Yeah. Very
my
good
first
for
ASIC,
learning.
My first ASIC is a KS0.
Yeah, and it's not even in your hands. How do you feel?
Thank you. I don't think I've ever held an ASIC though. Okay, I want to give it.
Listen, your KS0 has been kind of a hot thing.
A hot mess.
Yeah. Yeah, they get hot.
Yeah. Oh well. It's on a wooden desk. What could possibly go wrong?
Knock on that wood, okay? Knock on that wood. Nice.
Oh, that's the Eddie Cup. I mean, I also have almost 1,000 watts just running there, so if it hasn't burned down the table, nothing should.
Yeah. Maybe if you said like 2 hot coffee in your Yeti mug.
That would be the thing, though. It wouldn't be the computer. It wouldn't be the ASICs or the server or the network server. It would be the damn Yeti cup.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Like
actually built
spilling
this
on
table
top of
because
everything else.
surprisingly, this table is like 8 feet long.
Oh.
It's like 2 foot wide by 8 foot long with a 4 foot L. I built the
As
table.
a European,
in
I don't know what that means.
school. So that would be about close to 2.5 meters by like a meter point 3.3.
Yeah, man.
Something around there,
Nice.
roughly.
Really good table.
It literally barely fits. It's literally wall to wall. The
Yeah,
table.
can we get like a sponsored link for that table?
I built it myself. The legs itself are actually built out of like 1 by 2.
Oh
Okay.
boy, that's awesome.
1.5 by 2. Like it wiggles a bit.
Oh my
It's
god.
solid. I even the part where the L bracket is, I actually built that myself out of metal and welded it.
Oh,
Hey,
nice.
it's withstanded the test of time. I mean, I've standed on this table and I'm over 100 pounds, so about 100 pounds. So with all this other stuff on it, if it hasn't collapsed, it probably won't.
Let's not try it again.
Oh, I have to do it all the time to close my window.
Oh god.
Smokey Dan said, like, my first ASIC hasn't been shipped by RPM yet. Though I have to also win it first.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That is very good. Oh my gosh.
Actually, you know what's one thing I never asked? What was your first ASIC?
Me?
Yep.
I started with box miners. I
So
moved
kinda
from
like me?
GPUs to box miners, and then once I got like 12 or 18 of those, I started to accumulate the L3s.
So kind of the exact same rate I'm going on.
Yeah, but I've got
I-
S19s now,
Yeah.
and
yeah.
it
Well,
just
we
continues. You know, it's
yeah.
like a ball rolling downhill.
We want to get one. It's just the power capacity right now. Like and me and Laz have talked about this actually quite a bit. Why we're investing in infrastructure and like the not so much the hardware, but like the frames, the motherboards, the
Yep.
breakout boards, the cables, is because we want to allow ourselves this program with about 3,000 watts. So let's say someone reaches out and they want to sponsor a video with a S19 or an E9. It's not like we're at the capacity of power where we have to actually shut off GPUs to do, to run it, for example. So we'll have at least about a 3,000 watt safe net plus the 80% with our stuff, so we can actually, do videos and stuff with an ASIC if need be.
I can't imagine trying to max myself at 3,000.
Well,
I can't.
Laz's bank says otherwise.
I completely understand. I just in my head was trying to figure like what I would run and what I wouldn't run. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, that's kind of why we're looking to, like, we're not so much looking into a lot of hardware right now because it's already started to go up.
Yeah.
Oh, we've committed to buying the frames out and stuff, which, our plan is if we do these the wall idea is probably next bear market, you'll probably see us actually probably buy more of the GPUs for it. So who knows, it might, instead of being P106s, it might be 30Us, 30HXs or something like that, depending on how the prices go. And, once those walls are done, we only have about 4 or 5 server cases worth of GPUs. So if those open frames are just using I'm going to call them sitting idle GPUs. So like, hey, for example, Nexelia, when it first comes out, we're able to throw all that hash rate on it and, really speculate on it and, have our own hash rate. But then we'll have our base compute in server cases eventually. But we didn't want to go buy server cases because we're paying $600 to house 8 of our GPUs that really don't need a server case to help them. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Do you
I mean,
have
a
any
server
idea, like an average power draw for the wall that you're trying to build? I know all the algorithms are different, but
Laz,
have you done the
Laz
math on that?
Spreadsheets.
Spreadsheets.
We actually now, let alone the 30HXs, we have one running on Carlson hash, so that is a little more accurate than the P106s.
Okay.
So, but we actually, when we figured it out, a P106 is about half the 30HX, but at, half the price, half the watts, half the hash rate. So a P106 is essentially a 30HX if you put 2 of them together. No, less. We did all the math before, but it works that way too.
Yeah, it would be above this. It's like the 12.
I think we figured about 9,000 per 200 P106s. I think is roughly where it was.
Yeah. So
actually, I actually have the chart open. Give me a second.
Yeah.
Very interested in that, especially for.
I mean, it's just a neat idea that, like, if we can.
Yeah, it is.
And that's exactly what it's going to be for. It's not going to be used to mine coins every day because the power bill to run those things, I mean, even just 200 of them is going to be like $1,000 a month, So you put in the 30HX wall, you're looking at $4,000 a month easy.
Yeah.
So,
but you're trying to be able to accumulate the most you can in the shortest amount of time.
Exactly. So for 200, you're looking at about 39.2 gigahash on the P106s at about 10,000 watts for 200 cards, roughly, on a Carlson hash type algo, roughly.
Yeah.
For the 30HX, you're looking at 88.5 gigahash at about 19,200.
Yeah, almost 20.
But that one's more of a closer guess because that is actually, a GPU I have, so we've actually been able to test it.
Iconology. I don't.
All right, very interesting.
But it would just be a neat project that me and Laz kind of thought, well, we're stupid, so let's do it.
Yeah, it's a cool idea for spec mining.
No.
Especially if you take your time and accumulate the hardware reasonably.
Yeah, and I mean that's the thing. Like if we're able to pick, like I shouldn't say this, but they're gone now. But there was somebody here in Canada that was selling 100 per lot of 100 P106s. It was going to be $25 Canadian per GPU shipped to my door.
Oh wow!
So I mean,
okay.
It was going to be fairly cheap.
Yep.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
So the cost on those per hour is roughly about $1.40, and this is at 14 cents a kilowatt. So like residential rate here in Nova Scotia.
Yep.
$1.40 US per hour on the walls on the P106s, and then about $2.70 US for the 30HX wall. So I mean, realistically, if you run them per day, about $128 a day in power.
If you ran the wall.
Yeah. If we ran all three walls. But I mean, if we're doing that, like these are the sort of things that we would be like mining a coin for a week, and then we have enough coins that we wait a couple weeks, sell it.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Be able to profit. Because I mean, Nixelia, like we made some good moves on Nixelia.
Where were you guys renting hash rate for that?
Mining rig rentals. We were paying about $1 a gigahash per day. Roughly is what it worked out to be.
That's interesting too. I've never done that.
Now, if you don't have the power, if you don't have, the good power rate or the power itself to do it, I would not recommend doing it. But if you have, the space to do it, the power to do it, and the financial means of doing it, it could be a neat idea.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
And I mean, realistically, if we look at it, instead of paying $25 Canadian per P106, we might get them for $10 shipped per 106 after the bull run.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's hard to say because they'll be so old. Which that means realistically, if you're able to get those GPUs for let's say $10 to $15 shipped Canadian per, that's about $10 US shipped. You could be into that 2 walls for under $4,000 in GPUs.
Yeah, you're just gonna buy an old farm that wants to liquidate.
Well, we did some of the math on the ship because we found some people over in China selling them.
Okay.
And I'm like,
yeah.
Laz, do you realize how much 400 of those GPUs are going to weigh? Probably boxed. That's probably going to be about 1,200 pounds. That's coming on a pallet.
That gets tough. Yeah.
And I mean, you probably know the cost of that.
Yeah, shipping gets tough from over there when it gets to be big.
Yeah.
Because I always try to include it with my sales and stuff, but it gets so hard, especially when you have multiples. Because people think it's easier to give free shipping or discounts when there's a whole bunch, but it actually ends up being much harder because even if the money's there, it has to be done right.
The only time you really start saving is when you get a fully loaded pallet where you start getting containers shipped.
Yep.
If you're just getting 2 boxes shipped, you're better off just getting a half pallet sent, really.
Yeah, it gets to be really hard.
And it's hard because you tell them a price 1 minute and the shipping price could double in 2 weeks later.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Boy, I would love to buy a pallet of ASICs. That would be a cool experience.
I mean, and you know what? It could very well be possible with S19's next bull run.
Right.
It's hard to say. I think for me and Laszlo, I think you're not going to see us buy. Now, don't catch us wrong. We might eventually have one, but I think you'll see us more go for like a D9, an E9, something more of not an altcoin miner, but not a Bitcoin miner. Not because Bitcoin's a bad project, just because of there's not really. Whenever you look at Bitcoin, it doesn't do half. It either does under half or it either does half of the market increase or it does double. So if you're mining, let's say half a Bitcoin a year, right, on 10 machines, right now that's worth $50K. By the mid bull run, we could be only looking at 75 to 100,000 for that, as of ETC right now, last bull run is 150. I mean, if it hits 150 again, that's a 5x right there. So
yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
I mean, and me and Laz, at least right now, we're looking for more of those gains. That's why we got a lot of our value in Flux, Dogecoin, and Ravencoin right now, and SIA. I mean, we have quite a few $100 in each of those coins. I think Dogecoin we're in probably about 500 US worth of mined and earned from doing different things. Probably about $200 worth of Flux, and I mean 78, almost 8,000 Ravencoin. So
yeah, not in dollars, but in Ravencoin.
Yeah, in coins.
Yeah. And then SIA coin, I got like 26K, I think. Just checking. Double checking. 26,243.
And are those boxes still running?
5 out of the 6 of them is.
Okay,
I need a control board for the other one, I think.
Oh, that's right. Control board.
I think that's the problem. But I'm just going to talk to James and see if next time they send something out my way or, anything like that type of deal. They can just kind of shove one in the box. It's not like I'm in a rush to get it. I mean, as I told Laz, I'm like, it's one thing if it was middle bull run and these things are cranking out $2 a day a piece, but you're looking at $90 to ship one control board.
Yeah.
No.
That's basically a new.
That's essentially to us. That's actually paying more than what we've been able to pick the HS boxes up for.
Yep.
Nice.
Like we've been picking them up for about 100, 125 Canadian
shipped. Is that eBay?
No, just people on Discord reaching out to me, certain little things like that. So
nice. How many of those things you plan on getting? How many of those boxes you plan on having? You gonna go for a dozen or what?
Once we have like an entire
pyramid.
Yeah, like we
so
have to.
What I've thought about is technically, if I thought if I started a SIA coin box over at, like the original SC box on that side and did HS box and then meet them together.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so you know how we have the walls of like mining frames. Power's also
we're gonna have the pyramid of box miners. But here's the thing, though, that there is doing. Let me check here, because with 5 of them running, so there's one there that's not running. I am getting about 2.5 terahash. So I mean, realistically, I'm going through 150 times 5 to about 750 watts.
No.
For about 2.5 terahash, and realistically, 2 of the boxes I've won, I paid $100 for both of them and duties. And then I think me and Laz are probably into the other 4 for like $500 flat, somewhere's in there, Canadian. So realistically, when SIA coin was up at 2 cents, all of those were paid for. We could have sold the coins off for them, been in the green.
Yeah. But you held?
Yeah, we held. I mean, Panda's kind of going for a crazy amount. I'm like, I mean, we're not even in the bull run and it's hitting 2 cents. What is that saying? What is that saying about the project? That's what I look at it, right?
Yeah. You never know, but
Panda is saying 10 to 20 cents per coin for SIA. I'm like, man, you bullish.
Ooh, that sounds nice.
Yeah, it would be, because that means that'd be like $2,500 with SIA.
I'm trying to look up what the HS3 SE does right now, like how it's looking. I think it's running a little bit negative right now.
It definitely is. SIA coin took a huge, what's the polite word that I can say on stream? Took a giant ass dump in the woods like a bear.
Oh, did it? I haven't been looking. I don't look at
it. It went from 2 cents to 1 cent.
Oh, yeah, a little bit of a drop off.
But as a lot of people say, SIA coins dump, and I'm like, all it takes is for 2 people to sell their giant ass bags of SIA, and there goes the price. And I mean, as I told,
one very large farm.
Yeah, and as I told people, I'm like, you don't realize, like, SIA coin is, me and Laz were even debating selling at 2 cents.
Yeah.
Like, I don't blame nobody for selling.
No, absolutely.
Sure.
Like, I mean, profit when you can. I mean, and you think about it, people are probably holding for the last 2 to 3 years of Seacoin.
A
Like,
lot
that's
of
a
people
lot.
have been.
But I would recommend not buying a Seacoin miner unless you're truly bullish on Seacoin, because SC Prime is moving to a token, which means all that hash rate that's on SC Prime is going to be moving to Seacoin.
Yeah.
That's what my HS boxes are on right now.
SC Prime?
Yeah, they have been for a few months.
I don't blame you. I mean,
my HS3 SE is still on it, but I switched the boxes.
I mean, an SC Lite would be nice to have, but it's just, in my personal perspective, and it's the same with any ASIC, like a $10,000 ASIC or a $1,000 ASIC. If your price, like for example, I personally see the SC Lite, if it was at $950, which between that and 1,000 is not much, like $50. But to a home miner, $950 looks a crap ton less than $1,000, even though there's only $50 difference.
Yeah.
Just because you're paying an extra digit on the price. Same with $10,000 miner. If you're buying a $9,999 miner, but then you had to pay $10,000 for it, some people would not do that. And it's as I like to say, kind of a placebo effect on the brain.
Yeah, I went to school, like I went to college for marketing and business, so like you literally will sell something at $4.99 way more often than you will at $500.
Yep.
Which is crazy, but it's legit.
And I mean, I'm thankful that Gold Shell's lowered the price on their miner, on the SC Lite. I mean, they're doing a special right now. There's only a couple days left for it. On it, and it's going to be down a bit. It's at 1,100, I think, is the group buy for the SC Lite through Gold Shell. And then they don't have one on, and then you can actually buy 2 of them for like 2,400 type of deal. Okay. But if the miner was at 950, it would be a lot more attractive to somebody, or if it had Wi-Fi built in.
Yeah, I remember you talking about Wi-Fi last time.
You look at the X16Q. That's one of their big selling points with it. You plug it in the wall. It's on Wi-Fi. You don't need to run an Ethernet cable to it. Right? You don't need all that extra, you could say, cabling and mess, because some people just don't like a mess. Like, yeah. And you think Jazz Miner over the years has capitalized on the, hey, we have a small, quiet miner that you can sit in your corner on Wi-Fi and just plug into the wall like a space heater.
Yeah, the home miner stuff.
Yeah, but when you have to run an Ethernet cable to it and plug it into the wall, to some people that just sounds like too much work.
To some people, it is too much work.
But and I mean,
and then there's people like me that would never mine on Wi-Fi.
And you know what though? And I'm gonna try, and I would like to do a video on it. But a lot of my miners that I've had on Wi-Fi have been more stable than the
I remember you saying that.
Than the ones on Ethernet.
And I'm sure that has to do with the network and the router and the switches and
it also can depend too on, like, just think about it. It would be a newer control board in your machine if it had Wi-Fi. So that probably has something to do with it. But the thing too, your Ethernet port wears out over time. Just because of like the sound and the light that's going through it. Yeah. It eventually wears out. But with Wi-Fi, it's just an antenna.
Yeah.
Like, so.
Yeah. And I mean, I've sold a handful of my box miner antennas because I wasn't going to use them. And especially in the bull run, there was the stupid antennas are going for way more than they should have.
Yeah. But I mean, I'd like to do a video on it because I mean, it would actually be kind of a neat comparison.
Yeah. Yeah, you could do pings and such depending on what you're mining too, and be able to see.
But I mean, there is sometimes where. Okay.
I'll be back.
Thanks, right. Mr. Green Candle.
I'll leave the green candle on screen. So
I appreciate that. I wish it was flickering.
But
Hey, don't make
there
it too
is
hard for me, okay?
But as I say, I don't know if you've got one from Gold Shell. The Gold Shell watch.
I have not.
I like to say it's a cool concept. Bad network, like bad kind of idea behind it. Bad.
It's a cool idea.
But here's the thing. It's
of it
too
is
damn
cool.
app based. I literally told James that.
Well,
it's too damn app based.
It's a $4. They paid like $3.60 to have it made. You can only expect so much, you know.
But
it's a cool idea.
Yeah, it's 100% a cool idea. But the thing though is if someone gets a watch, what do they use it for? Check the time, right? Standard thing. Check the time.
Probably.
If your phone is not charged, you can't use this to check the time.
You can't even check the time?
No, because it will screw up in the phone. Because if the phone's dead, it uses the phone's time to tell the watch what time it is.
So it's just like a mirror of your phone in a way?
Exactly. It's just a mirror of the Gold Shell app. So you can't even check the weather. Like they have like a weather thing built in.
But it actually goes through your phone?
Yep. If
That's
the phone
so
is
odd.
dead, if the phone is dead, it won't keep track of time and it won't keep track of the weather or nothing.
Now I want to mess with one. I didn't want to mess with one before, but now I want to mess with it and see if you can do it.
But you know what though? It's a great idea. It's 100% a great idea. And I said, James, this could be something good.
It is cool. That's what I was saying. The idea behind it's really cool.
You know, especially if you're in a mining facility and you had the capabilities of linking this up to workers in a large farm to where, oh, there's a miner down. It gives you an alert on your phone. Click. Yeah. Oh, what shelf is it on? What rack is it on? Oh, it's miner 5 on rack 2 on shelf section 5B. You know, that could be a sick concept for this. But if you're having to use an app to keep track of the time, what's the point of it?
Yeah.
Like if your phone is dead, you grab your watch to check the time.
That seems so weird. I wish I could be hands-on with it.
But if your phone is dead, the time does not keep tracking this.
Does your phone have to be on the same network as the miners in order for the watch to see? No.
So that's where the Wi-Fi, you actually need the Wi-Fi. Like, so my Ethernet miners, right? I have 3 of them off, 3 of them right now on. I have 4, but that's one with the back control board. But it actually uses the Wi-Fi antenna because you have to unlock, you know that VLAN spot on the Gold Shell boxes that's you lock? Well, you actually have to open that up onto your network. And then it actually gives you a code that you connect with your phone.
Oh, wow.
It's a neat concept, but like, I don't think it was thought out.
It also really seemed like a great bull market idea. You know what I mean? Like it really seems like something that should have came out in a bull run.
But here's the thing, though. A lot of their miners don't have the Wi-Fi, so I don't know how it works with the HS lights because if you can't unlock the VLANs on an HS light.
That's why I thought you were going to have to be on the same network so it would be able to see any miner.
Here's the thing, though. It doesn't work because you actually physically need to unlock the VLANs in the miner, which it won't let you unlock the VLANs unless it has the Wi-Fi antenna.
Oh, that I'm not sure of. That's crazy.
I'm pretty sure that's how it is because I've tried with my other miners because it's neat because it actually alerts you saying, oh, you have 0 miners offline. Oh, you have a miner offline. Like if, let's say, one of my boxes goes down or reports dead, it will say you have 1 miner offline. Which is cool.
That's
But if you can't set it up, and I mean, they actually sent it to me to make a video on it, and I even messaged James. I'm like, listen, I'm going to tell you my opinion to you so you can talk to the people who are in charge of this department, but I would feel like doing you wrong by just absolutely obliterating a $30 watch on stream, on cam. Like, you know, they're a asic machine, right? They're an asic company, not a watch manufacturer.
They They saw Flux making watches and they got jealous.
Do you know what though? This would be something I could see them licensing to a bigger like smartwatch company, like Apple Watch or something like that.
Yeah,
to where
yeah.
they can license it to them, where they actually have a good app, where they can have an app for it and all that.
Like Samsung or Verizon, at least. I don't know if they're Samsung watches, but Verizon has watches. And if I could implement that into that, then I'd be more apt to get. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just
because it is a really cool idea.
Great concept, as Eric said. Cool idea, bad implementation.
I also haven't seen a lot of people that have, like, I have a lot of box miners. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know a lot of people who have a lot of them. Most people that I know of that have them have 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I mean, it's kind of it's what you would call a niche market.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it's kind of, I was able to pick them up cheap. It's not like I'm spending $1,000 on one machine that can only mine 1 or 2 coins. I put $100 into each box. Like,
yeah.
You can't beat that. But you know what?
I hear that.
I wouldn't be surprised if someone messages me through Discord halfway through the bull run, offering me $750 a box.
I'm really interested to see what these things are going to be worth.
And really, you know what, though? I would probably, obviously, depending on the price of SIA, obviously, I might not sell them.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Because
I have a hard time selling equipment, hardware.
The fact is if you have to sell it, how hard is it going to be to buy it back? And I think I seen somebody else commenting this earlier, right? If you're selling something, how hard is it going to be to, recoup that hardware? I think he said he went to grab a drink or something just to get away from the screens or something, because he has like 5 monitors. Yeah, he bought 2 just for streaming because he streamed the first night. He said, "I'm not doing this again. I'm buying 2 more monitors." I'm like, all right. So he got kind of 2 other monitors, but
fancy pants.
But it's like I have 3 L3 sitting under my bed right now that aren't running. Just it doesn't make sense to have them run.
Yeah.
But you know what?
I've got 2 of my 3 on.
I'm keeping them there because who knows what's happening in the bull run. I mean, we're not probably going to see huge profits on the L3s. We might see $1 or $2 profit a day.
Yeah.
But
they'll still be profitable to resell at that point.
Is it even worth selling them, though? Yeah. Too, because you go sell them on some place like eBay or something like that, you get freaking charge back.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out if I wanted to do a store on something, or I think I'm going to stay away from doing eBay. I don't know if I'm going to do like Shopify or...
There's so many little niche things. Like eBay is kind of like a scalper's paradise is what I'd like to say. So Coinology. So from my understanding, the reason we haven't seen the L9 released is it's actually been R&D tested, produced, but they're waiting to see what Locotech does because they said if Locotech actually follows through on their on their machines, the L9's no point because it's more wattage at less hash rate. I think I'm going to try to sell my rigs on Facebook during the bull run. Yeah. But also don't limit yourself, Eric, because, like, for example, here at my place, people are like, 700 Canadian for a 3070, like when I first started, right? Because people are like, why didn't you buy a 3060 or a 3070? I'm like, used people want $700 Canadian for a used 3070. I could go pick up this RX 470 for $40. Like, and when I'm starting out.
Yeah, it's a lot different at the beginning.
Well,
once you start to scale,
I'm just saying, be careful because in some places you'll get more than others, and also be careful for the people that message you saying, "Oh, okay, I'll do that," and then come to your place and then, you know, try to haggle you down to a low point and then hold you at gunpoint with the states in their state of mind right now. No, nothing on your part, New England,
I
but
know what you mean.
with the state of the U.S. and expect the unexpected. Coinology, I don't think local tech's gonna go under because I mean, from what I've heard from people, they do have quite a few pre-orders. I know there's companies that are doing pre-orders for them and through them. I'm not gonna say that I'm not confirming anything is true from local tech. If you are looking to pre-order, I don't think New England Crypto was doing pre-orders through them yet.
No, Coastal Crypto was.
And I mean, I have a code through Coastal if you are actually interested in looking at them.
I don't have enough faith in local tech yet.
And that's my thing, what I've been telling people. Listen, and that's the thing too, is what I'm telling people. If you want to pre-order one, don't pre-order it direct from local tech. Pre-order it from someone like Coastal. Yeah, you're going to pay more, but you know what?
You could get it back.
You can get it back if they don't follow through. Unlike local tech, they'll just say, pretty much give you 2 middle fingers and run to Mexico.
I don't know how much you guys have talked about it on stream, but this isn't the first time that Locotech was supposed to be putting out hardware.
I've heard.
I was around for last time when they were supposed to be putting out hardware.
And here's
the feeling is exactly the same. They were very adamant about how it was coming out last time as well.
The only thing that has me a little bit more, what you could say is believable, is that the two people from Coastal have actually in person met the owners of Local Tech and actually have seen it working supposedly. I have heard that they actually saw the hash blades and stuff in person.
Whether I know a couple of people that saw the USB thing, but not the.
Whether that's complete bullshit.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm not sure.
Or if that's actual what they're saying, because I mean the guys from Coastal are pretty, they don't want to wrong anybody. That's how they built their business.
Yeah,
but
no, they don't need to look bad going into this next bull run.
I'm not confirming anything, and I'm not also saying that they're not true. That's my thing.
I hear you. I hope that it all comes,
But if you are
man, we all want something that profitable. Oh, yeah. So I hope it's real.
And all I'm trying to say is, if you want to pre-order one, don't pre-order direct from Locotech. Pre-order from someone like Coastal Crypto.
I do agree with that.
I do have a code through them that will probably save you the money that you'd be spending, that you'd be saving buying through, Locotech. And you know what? If they don't deliver, you get your, money back, and, but as I told people too, don't pre-order right now. Pre-order a couple months before they say they're going to start deliveries. Because don't tie up 20 grand for a couple of months, because you can put that 20 grand to work.
Is that how much the thing is that they're selling?
Well, it depends on what you're getting.
I know the Coastal has like the server that has a bunch of blades in it, right?
That's the one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Because it's actually, it works out to be actually a bit cheaper if you figure out like, hey, I'm going to be having to get an octa miner. I'm having to get this. So if we go to Coastal, and I mean, Coastal has other ASICs too, if you want to buy from them. But if you're looking for anything, check out New England Crypto. He's in my Discord, always free to message him. Click a local tech. Yes and no, Coinology. I mean, yes, it's expensive, but if you compare it to the price, if their price stays at 20,000 through the bull run, you will be laughing your ass off getting it. Realistically, because you think L7s, they're probably going to be sitting around 10 grand a piece. Like during this bull run, wouldn't you say, New England?
I honestly don't know.
I mean, they're still at 5 or 6 grand a piece now. So imagine in the bull run when they double in price. And I mean, what's saying that they can't triple in price? It all depends on the price of Dogecoin and Litecoin or any new script algorithm. But actually, let's just look here. And I'm sure your price is lower than this, but an L7 9500, you're looking at $5,600.
Yeah.
So I mean, if that price doubles, You're at 10 grand a piece. You have, if you buy 2 of them, you're only gonna be getting about 16 gigahash at, or 18, like 19 gigahash at probably about 7,000 watts to be safe. As of this, you're getting 24 gigahash at like at like just over 2,000
2,000.
watts.
Yeah.
So I mean, even at 20 grand, it's a lot up front. But if you think about the bull run and the potential of the L7's doubling price, I could easily see an L7 doubling in the bull run.
Absolutely.
Right? So, I mean, when you do the math,
advice, absolutely.
When you see the price, it actually, 20 grand actually sounds really cheap for what this is. And it's probably, to be honest, going to be quieter than an L7. You'll probably be able to run this in your basement. It's going to not be a noise hog. It's not going to be as hot.
Yeah,
it's going to be like, you could probably run this in your basement with very to little, like almost no real infrastructure.
$20,000.
And I mean, if you look at the hash blades, they're $1,800 each. So realistically, you're paying $2 grand for a server case. All the like pretty much a server case with that's fully built out for these. So I mean, when you really think about it, how much is an octo miner to fit, at least 10 of these?
Oh geez, yeah, I'm not even sure how.
Like, you're looking at an X12, probably Ultra because they're tall.
Yeah, I don't even know if they'd fit. I have no idea.
It depends on length, right? So it's also risky buying the hash blades because they'll need to be in a server in order to stay cool. And I'm sure there'll be a company that builds some sort of cooler for them.
There's going to be all sorts of stuff coming out if they.
But I mean,
if and when.
Yeah, and I'm not saying go pre-order this. Like, by no means not financial advice. But if you are looking at, in the bull run, going to be looking at an L7 or 2 L7s, I mean, this is 100% would be, in my opinion, and not financial advice, probably a better option than 2 L7s. Yeah, Kaspa has its foot in the drawer of overtaking LTC. Okay, you're talking about a coin like Kaspa. Yes, Kaspa wants to take LTC over, but here's the thing. LTC's price, if you look over the average time of its lifespan, it has been fairly stable. You look at Kaspa, you can't even go to the 1 month without that coin being stable. And me and Laz have actually done a couple of streams talking about this. If we want Kaspa to be a coin for, like a coin like USDT for transactions, I will never, ever use Kaspa for a transactional purchase until there's some sort of stable form of it. I said it. Because here's the thing. If let's say you're looking at buying a house over it, let's say you're looking at buying, a couple $100,000 of ASICs for clients, right? By time you accept that transaction and get that transaction sent to China, what happens if the price drops 20K? Who's going to be at, who's going to be a part of that transaction? Is it on you? Is it on the buyer? Or is it on the seller? Because, the buyer sent what he was told, but by the time the seller received it, it was...
I think that's one of the things with Kaspa, though, isn't it? Extremely fast.
It's extremely fast, but it also takes time to see the transactions, though. Like,
no, I know what you mean. I just, in general, I think...
Yeah, it's fast.
I've never transacted with it.
Yeah, it's fast. But, as in my eyes, if you're doing a big purchase, like, let's say you're buying a business or a house overseas, and you're paying $500,000. I said to Les, by the time you buy that $500,000 Kaspa off of the chain, you send it over there, they confirm it all. And what happens if you buy it on a Friday and then by the time it's there's no one in the office till Monday? By the time Monday rolls around, what happens if that's worth $400,000?
Yeah,
there are usually things in place for stuff like that.
But
I do know what you mean.
If we had a stable form of it, it would make a lot more people feel a lot more safer transacting using it.
So here,
and that's my personal opinion on it.
What were we gonna say, Les?
Here's the segue into another thing. Okay, so there's another coin. I've talked about it like every stream up till now. But there's basically a Zephyr kind of thing that's
kaspa
doing
coming.
Like that's fork. Well, there's a kaspa fork which is basically going to do Zephyr stuff. And you know what? Today the dev actually came out of vacation, so he didn't even say he was going on vacation. It was like the guy took out 1.5 months like off. I was like, "Where are you?"
And can I just say a couple things on the chat last? The more adoption kaspa acquires, the volatility will decrease.
Yeah.
Yes and no, because there's always going to be buyers and there's always going to be sellers.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And there's also going to be traders. Traders will fluctuate the market more than the buyers and sellers will ever, because they'll be like, well, we want to buy at this price, right? So that will set the price at a certain point. Then there'll be the buyers that want to buy it at a certain point. Then there'll be the sellers that want to sell it at a certain point. So the market, even though it gets more people involved and gets more decentralized, you could say, you look at it. Kaspa's become more decentralized in those 6 months. But when has Kaspa became more volatile? The last 6 months, when asic started coming onto the network.
I was just gonna say
coming. The forks coming out for it. Realistically, the more that kaspa is growing and more hardware that comes out, kaspa is just going to become more volatile no matter what comes into it. And a stable coin on kaspa, yes, it's just a fiat placeholder, but if you can have the speed of it without having I want to say this in a way that is going to sound weird, but the liability of having it change on you when you're trying to make a big purchase, it's more safer, and it will actually probably acquire more adoption because of its speed. Yeah, it's a stable coin, but no, it isn't ARC, because BTC has been around for so long that the price point to entry on BTC is a lot different than kaspa.
Yeah.
And also, BTC also has assets behind it now that's probably going to make it more stable. Yes, but BTC is also expensive. It's not the cheapest in fees right now. I mean, it's fairly expensive. Last time I think I transacted BTC, and it's not the fastest out there. And I think that wasn't even a big transaction either.
It took me about $8 to send.
That's what we're saying, Chuck. That is what we're saying.
To send how much?
$20.
Oh,
Coinology. Chuck, that's what we're saying. Kaspa is not a stable coin, but I just said I will never transact using Kaspa until there's some form of a stable currency behind it.
Yeah, like
yes, I love the speed of it. No. I love the speed of it, but I hate the fact of how it's so goddamn volatile.
That's crypto, though, man.
Well, yes, but you look at, there's assets, and then there's transactions, and then there's, projects for the, I'm going to say niche markets of people. Right? You have Neoxa for gaming. You have, Dynex for your AI marketplace. You have your Flux for your, Web3 and all that. And then you have your, SIA's more for storage and tech. And, you have your Bitcoin as kind of like the head honcho, you could say. But what I'm saying, though, is if we want the speed of kaspa, right, I think the speed of kaspa is phenomenal. But if you have, not everyone is awake 24/7 to be claiming. The world's not always awake 24/7 for transactions. And for Kaspa, if the world ain't awake, there's money being made and there's money being lost on Kaspa.
Yeah.
Right? But here's the thing. Kaspa doesn't need to be stabilized itself. But if there was a form of Kaspa that was stable and you still had your asset of Kaspa, like, hey, it can jump 30% one day, it can go down 20% one day, that's fine. But if there was some form of a stable currency behind it for people who are for people who are transacting, like for everyday purchases, that's what I would like to see with Kaspa.
Like, look at all those stores that are currently using Kaspa. They could have as well use like another stable currency. That
Chuck, I would definitely disagree with you in the fact that cryptocurrency is in general volatile. It is in some aspects of it. But you look at Bitcoin, it's not as volatile as Kaspa. You know, Bitcoin, if it moves 2%, oh wow, Bitcoin moved 2%. Kaspa, if it moves 2%, we're like, well, there's another 0.0001 cent. Like, it's, and I'm not saying that
everybody's different.
In Coinology, I'm not saying get rid of Kaspa completely. I'm saying, good, if you want to own $75 worth of Kaspa for it to fluctuate, go ahead, own it.
No.
But for people who are everyday transacting, do you think people are going to adopt Kaspa for everyday transactions if they can lose 50% in a day? I know I sure as hell wouldn't.
No, but when, like, as a business or something, when you're taking crypto, you have things in place, like you have procedures in place. I take crypto for multiple 100%. Different businesses.
100%.
Yeah. So
but there is, but
I buy and sell things with crypto all the time too.
Oh yes. 100%.
And I almost never transfer into a stable coin first. 100%. I send the Cardano or whatever that I am using. So I do hear what you're saying, but I also see in the world of crypto that
the thing
it's not as necessary to a lot of people.
100%. And you know what? If you want to transact Kaspa, go ahead. But you know what? There's going to be people who are not going to want to adopt Kaspa, and because of that, because as a business, especially if you're in a form of business that, you might be accepting payments when no one's in the office to sell it. If you're like, for example, dentist office, there's supposedly a dentist office accepting Kaspa. If they're not there and able to sell it, they are losing money on services that they provided.
Well, chances are they either want to hold it long term or it's getting auto converted for them.
Yes.
They don't need to be in the office.
But there's also going to be businesses that aren't as smart that are just going to adopt it and not have proper procedures in place too. We have to think about that too, because as many Timmies as there are in crypto, there's going to be just as many Timmies trying to get into accepting crypto in businesses. Would be a fair way of putting it. That don't know what the hell that don't know what the hell they're doing, and Okay, but what I'm saying though is don't get rid of. I'm not saying get rid of Kaspa. I'm saying add something to Kaspa. I'm saying add something to Kaspa to make it more, it will make it actually more valuable as a project.
Yeah,
how hard is it to turn Kaspa into USDT?
It's not so much the fact of turning it into USDT. It's the fact with transacting USDT that's a pain, because you either have to go into an Ethereum version of it or Tron version or something like that. You know what? If Kaspa came out with their own version of USDT that ran on the Kaspa blockchain, that's all they would have to do. Because if you run it on the Kaspa blockchain, it's easy.
Because like with the ASIC sales, we obviously take crypto, but for the most part, we have to take USDT for the reason of the fluctuations, and we don't want to be calling somebody and asking for more money the next day because of the fluctuations. And so we are smart about that in that way.
That's what I'm trying to say.
But at the same time, if somebody really wanted to pay me in something that I specifically want to hold, like Cardano,
yeah,
then that would be on me to take that risk.
Yes,
you know,
100%, and I agree with you. But you're also a little bit, I don't want to say more. You own your own business, right? You're not a part of a corporation or anything like that.
Correct.
Right? Kaspa wants to be in how do I say this? They want to be in a corporation type setting where you walk into Walmart and you buy $20 worth of groceries. You just take your phone and tap it on there with your Kaspa wallet.
Yeah.
That's how they want to be. And you know what? That's the sort of thing where, if Kaspa had their own version of USDT where it automatically transferred it to USDT, ran it on the blockchain, that to me it would actually add value to Kaspa in my eyes, because here's the thing, if somebody goes and buys $20 of groceries and then the price, if the corporation's not trading it or something like that, they're losing money, which is going to make them hate the project more, which is going to get a bad reflection on the project. And if, let's say Kaspa is relying on the trading of these big corporations and payment systems and stuff like that, eventually Kaspa is going to get a horrible name for itself. And instead of it being a great project, it's going to be in the dumpster in a couple of years.
Yeah, I'm sure with a lot of things it would be like that. It would be harder with something like Walmart because they're going to have companies and people, they're going to be turning it into whatever they want for sure.
Yes.
But there are other businesses in the medium to large scale that could definitely lose out on hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars, if not done properly.
Small businesses, for example, I'm not saying like in my town where I close live, there's only there's maybe 10 restaurant chains in my town, maybe 15, but there is probably 20 or 30 small business restaurants. Like there's probably over 100 small business boutique restaurants in probably a 15-kilometer radius of my town. Yeah, so to them, this sort of project seems smart because it gives them a way of offering something new and stuff to their customers. But also half the town is people over the age of, 65. Yeah. So for them to use it, they need to feel safe using it, right? They're not as high tech as, for example, me and Laz would be, right?
Yep.
But if there was some form of them being able to tap their card with it, right? That, I need $20. You send it via Kaspa, it's there within a couple of seconds. They're not holding up the line at the store or anything like that. But it's on a stable version. They can still pay that $20 even if, I forgot something, and come back to the cash register an hour later.
Yep. I definitely know what you mean. I can see all the different sides of it.
Right? And I mean, in my eyes, adding a form of a stable currency on Kaspa would actually probably boost the project more than take it away.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Tron. Tron probably survives on having USDT on their network.
Yeah.
Probably because people have to buy Tron to transfer their USDT.
And that's one of the things about the big companies taking it, even if they are auto converting it, is the amount of volume that they're going to provide for these different, you know what I mean? These different projects, if they do take it.
Stable to what, though? The dying US dollar. Okay, but here's the thing, though. I'm not saying to transfer to the USD dollar, but I'm saying, let's say I'm in Canada and Laz is in Laz is in Europe, or not Europe, but the Netherlands, and New England's in the States. Yeah. If I send $20, it will be $20 in Canadian. There will be probably an auto converting way for it to go to Laz. Just like wallets, when you convert, Canadian dollars onto an exchange, most exchanges are in USD funds. So it's going to show you what it is in USD funds. But I'm saying, though, is if you have a stable version of it, it's going to make it so much more easier for the grandma or something to go to a store. Oh, I don't have enough groceries. Give me a second. Sent, but ding, they got it. Oh, shoot, I forgot something else at the store.
You're talking about like super mass adoption, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But that's
us getting to the point that grandma's paying in crypto at the grocery store.
But you have to think about it though too.
That's like I love the idea of it. That's just I think we're a little ways away from there.
How long does it take you to do an Interact bank transfer to some people though? Sometimes you can wait on that shit for 10 minutes. I've waited 20 minutes before for an Interact e-transfer.
If it's the weekend, you can easily wait like 3 days until it's Monday.
Man, just trying to pull money from a PayPal account to your bank account can take 5 to 7 to 10 days, if not, if you don't want to pay. If you want to be one day, you have to pay a whole bunch more.
We have no option here in Canada. I have to pay a fee for it.
Oh, do you? See, we can get it for free, but it'll take 3, 5, 7, 10 days or whatever.
But the thing though is what I'm just trying to say is people aren't there 24/7 to monitor everything, right? If there was a way to stabilize it to give people a chance to use it in the way that it should be, as another way of paying in a stable currency, I'll say, there'll still be people with their kaspa that's an asset. That would be like your investment. But then like your $5 bill in your pocket will be your little kaspa card. You go tap at the cashier machine and, no matter who and what you are, you understand that, oh, there's $5 on this card. I can go to the store and buy myself a pack of gum. And you can get to the store, buy your pack of gum, and there's still what you paid for that plus what you went to the store with.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
It does. Because I can see lots of different angles to why that would be good and bad to some people.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing too is if you're in a, let's say not a state, right? Like for example, the States, a lot of bank companies will charge you for changing the currency on your card when you're paying at a store. But if you had a kaspa, if you had some sort of technology built into the kaspa card, it will auto say, oh, you're in the States, change your kaspa rate to USDT or USD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be more flexible, quicker, but it's, we're only thinking about the 20 and 30-year-olds that use crypto. Right?
Yeah.
But as much as we adopt it, we have to think about the older people who are going to have to adopt it, because if we start using it more,
because it's the future of money, right?
Yeah, basically.
If you have to think about the older generation, like my grandfather, he still fucking has a flip phone.
Yeah.
He still literally walks around with a flip phone. So
I would more say it's going to be the generation just above like PMC and me, like our parents, basically. I think my at least my mom would pay in crypto if she could. She's not that much into it, but she is interested in where it could go.
But
do you have the Coinbase card where you are?
Not sure.
You have the Tangem. He has the Tangem, I think, available in his area.
And do they have a card?
They will have a card by the end of the year.
Like a debit card? Okay.
Because
I use mine and I'm able to go right on the app and I can go to any store and I even sometimes explain to the cashier if it's not a busy place or if they're younger or whatever, or, depending on, sometimes like somebody will have like a crypto whatever related shirt and they still don't know that these cards exist. And I let them know that I can pay them whatever crypto I want, and then they still get their dollars or whatever their big company wants on the other end. And I think that that's where a lot of the adoption is going to come in, unfortunately and fortunately, is people are going to be spending whatever they want, and then the big companies are just going to be turning it into dirty dollars, unfortunately, at the beginning.
Yeah.
Chuck Danger, stable, not profitable. I'm not saying change kaspa into a stable coin. I'm saying add a version of a stable coin onto kaspa.
Like with smart contracts or something else.
It's kind of like Tron. You have Tron, but then you have Tron USDT.
No.
It's not like, And here's the thing. If you're using kaspa with a kaspa USDT version, if they have some way of changing, I need a little USDT, or I need a little kaspa to transfer this USDT, it can auto convert in the wallet or whatever to make that happen. It's not like, oh shit, I need Tron, I have to go buy it in order to make this transaction work.
And that's actually, as far as I know, one of the ways the later on smart contracts in Casper are going to work, because they are looking at native assets smart contracts, which are basically smart contracts that are like work like the native coin. It's just,
oh, okay.
Yeah, it's. I'd have to ask Kevin like what his entire plan for that is, but it's basically Kevin's lost
Q&A
child.
coming.
Yeah,
Possibly. But
it might.
It's
if
not.
he gets it to work, it would be awesome, because then you can just make a coin, have people give it value, and then you can pay your network fee in that, because it auto converts to Caspa at that point.
Yeah. And we're not talking about trading with this thing or anything like that.
No.
We're just talking about large purchases
Yes.
that aren't immediate, or with companies that
No.
aren't converting immediate.
Or your paycheck. You wouldn't want your paycheck in Caspa because you might lose half your paycheck by the end of the week.
Everybody's different. Because would say, like there are some cryptos that I would take a paycheck in that a lot of people wouldn't, because I believe in them, In the last bull run, my wife and I were selling Cardano hoodies and t-shirts and hats because we bought them for ourselves and we posted it on Twitter, and Charles Hoskinson retweeted it. So people from all over the world were hitting us up asking for these hoodies. We never planned on selling them. So then we just started selling these things. Bank. We sold so many of them. And I took a lot of the payments in ADA, in Cardano.
Nice.
And if you look, and I held it, and if you look at it right now, I lost a ton of money on those transactions. But I am also not selling anytime soon.
100%.
No.
So, I took that risk on not converting right away, where I could have obviously, or said that I need you to convert and I'm only going to accept this. A lot of people did pay with like PayPal or whatever.
Yeah.
But a lot of the real hardcore Cardano people only wanted to pay in Cardano.
And I'm not saying everybody could get their paycheck in this, but I'm saying the people who live paycheck to paycheck, though, this is something that they would need in order for them to not essentially get screwed over by their employer and be able to actually live. Because, I mean, if you have Caspa, I mean, we've seen it before. Caspa's dumped 40% in a day before. If that does that to your paycheck, I mean, and you're living paycheck to paycheck.
If you do it that way, it at least keeps it on the chain that you still really like, and then you could convert half of it if you want to regular Caspa or. Yeah. I definitely see what you're saying, but I also see why a lot of people don't like stable at all, because it reminds them too much of dirty dollars.
Yeah. I understand that too. But you have to think about it, though, too, is you can't have a network who's saying, we want to do transactions, but not provide a stable way of doing these transactions to people, too.
Most people
some people who are in crypto, you might have a KS3M that's making you your Caspa, but a lot of other people are living paycheck to paycheck who want to adopt this, but they're worried to buy $1,000 of Caspa with half their paycheck and lose 40% halfway into the week. And then, what are they going to do? They're not going to be able to pay their rent. They're not going to be able to pay their car payments, insurance payments.
Being able to buy it and have it go up 40% is also part of why we love crypto, man.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's why it's like I could argue all the different ways and feel
I'm
like
saying it's happened before. Ark.
Oh yeah,
we've seen it before happen. You may have not seen it, but we have seen it before.
I've also found that a lot of people that will fight the stable versions when it comes to purchases and stuff have never accepted money or crypto for a purchase on a good scale. So if I sell, 5 new large ASICs and I'm not careful, I could literally lose thousands and thousands of dollars and have to keep my commitment. You know what I mean?
But you as a small business owner, you can take risks that I'm not going to say you're fortunate or lucky to be in the position you are, But there's some companies that, let's say the food industry, let's say a restaurateur, like a small restaurant business, they can't have the chance of them losing that, because a restaurant has very little margins itself.
Yeah.
Let alone if they lose 10% a day, that's their profits.
Yeah. It's gotta, man, I'm like so interested now. Like when I was selling the Cardano stuff, I found out that there are Cardano boutique places around the world. Like there are Cardano hotels that are completely Cardano themed. You pay in Cardano. I wonder if like that guy is just a huge believer and he hodls all of it, or if he's auto converting enough to cover. Do you know what I mean? With all these other chains and cryptos, there has to be some other things like that we just don't know about. You know what I mean? Like, I know the Bitcoin beach is famous and things like that.
Yeah, I'm
so
pretty sure
Eric says, I don't see any 40% dumps in a day on Kaspa. It might not be a 40% day drop, but over the course of 2 days, it can easily drop 40%. I'm not saying, even 20% to your, paycheck to paycheck, right? 20% is a large amount of that paycheck.
Yeah, would I like to get my Kaspa when it is in a dump? I would like to have it like when it's like stable, like at the bottom, like after a dump. But I wouldn't like it like going up or at the peak and going down. I want it when it's flat, and it does that quite often. Where it's just like a little bit. Not for large. No.
And I'm not saying that Kaspa has to 100% move to a stable coin. You know what? I'm 100% for Kaspa being as an asset, but as a transactional piece of currency, it doesn't hold its value enough to be in the position. Now, if you want to take that, some of your paycheck and buy Kaspa when it's low, go ahead. You can do that, right? But if you are forced to take Kaspa as your paycheck when it's at the top and it dumps 30% in a week or 50% in a week, what are you going to do? You're living paycheck to paycheck, but you just lost half your paycheck. You still have loan payments to make. You still have mortgages. You still have car payments. You still probably have loans. You might have student loans too.
I have talked with someone like earlier, a few weeks ago, about maybe instead of having just a US dollar stablecoin, also having a gold stablecoin on top of Kaspa.
Like, what an interesting idea.
Like, gold is a little bit more stable than like the crypto things, like as far as I've seen at least.
I don't know much about it.
Yeah, but
always interested to learn or willing to learn, but
the majority of a restaurant's company's profits go to a bank account. Yes, okay. But what I'm saying though is if you accept Kaspa and it's being held into a wallet or a portfolio, right? And let's say you made money one day, but the next day you're accepting it at, at a little more Kaspa. But let's say it takes a 20% dump. Even though you're profitable, making better money the day before, and you were making what you should have the day that you did this, and the next day it drops 20%, you're breaking even. You're not even profiting. And I mean, that's going to make some companies and restaurateurs literally go broke. Now, there will still be the dollar that a lot of people will still probably use. But the thing is, you got to think about it. If crypto is the new way, and someone comes in for a giant birthday party, let's say a 21-year-old comes in with a birthday party or something like that into a big restaurant. Restaurants make money on the big tables that they sell. When they do a big table, that's where, businesses make money in New England. You probably know this because, you have an event venue, right?
Yeah, it's a lot. Dude, when it comes to making money on people that are coming into your place, it's different all the time. I could throw an event with 50 people and make more money than I do with 300 people, but it all depends on.
Yeah. But when you have a business that's selling something and trying to make a profit on it, like I'm not saying all restaurants are the same way. No, if you go to a high-end restaurant, they're gonna have a little bit higher margins than, let's say, your boutique fish and chip truck that drives around town selling fish and chips on the weekend, right? But that's the sort of people that are gonna adopt this, and that will actually end up losing money because they don't have more money behind them.
Yeah. Basically, if I would have a store, I would sell stuff, and I would accept kaspa. I would actually like to accept both kaspa and a stablecoin on top of kaspa, so I can easily convert back and forth whenever I see the market go certain ways.
Like, but here's the thing, though, Les. Can I just say something and add on to that? If you're in the store, you can convert that when you want to. Like, you convert that in the store. But let's say these companies that are selling stuff online, that the person that's in charge of doing this conversion and stuff is asleep.
No.
But there's still orders coming in. There's still money coming in.
That's when they would have it auto convert.
Yeah.
But I hear what you're saying, and not everybody's educated enough to do that.
Here's the thing, though. What chain would you put it on, though? Like, you know, you're gonna have to spend money out of that kaspa to buy the coin. Let's say you put it on the Tron network, right? Or the Solana chain or something like that. You would still have to buy coins from another network to move the coins that you have in the stable network. So, you know, even if you want to accept kaspa, still build a stable coin on top of it that people can trade into and easily move it around. That they don't have to go and buy other coins from other networks to keep this coin on it.
Yeah, and once you have enough in dollar amounts in that stable coin, you can then move it into actual dollars, actual euros, actual whatever.
Yeah. Because like me and Laz, when we bought the KS0 from you, we wanted to make sure, like, Laz actually converted his kaspa into USD because we said we don't want it to be unfair to you and we don't want it to be unfair to Laz.
No.
Right? Because we want to make sure you got what you told us and you were able to send what you told us to the company who we got the KS0 from. Not, oh, here's the kaspa, because actually within a couple of days of that kaspa being gone, Laz, what did it do? It dumped.
Yeah.
And I mean, if it dumped 10 or 20%, that's $200 from, the payment. And I mean, that's a big majority of it. That's a fifth of the ASIC.
Absolutely.
And it would have screwed you over.
Yeah.
I mean, and whose fault would have it been? Can't really blame the seller, can't really blame the buyer, and can't really blame the middleman.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of companies that come out from this, that come into existence from this to help these companies get set up properly, and
100%. But
people like us will be able to help the mom and pop place make sure they're not getting screwed,
100%. And this is the other thing too, like, that's why I want to see, it's not so much just because I want it to be stable and that I'm a fan of stable coins. It's, you got to think of it's not the corporations that are going to lose out. It's going to be your mom and pop businesses that have literally, like, you think Hawk's family has a restaurant, right? Hawk's very smart. He's a very smart businessman, right? So is his family. But when it comes to crypto, they probably don't know as much as Hawk does, right? And I'm
sure
just guessing this.
Don't.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And you think about it, if they started accepting crypto at their restaurant and don't know all this auto conversion stuff, and let's say Hawk's on a business trip to expand Terra, like, eventually if Hawk keeps growing the rate he's going, he's not gonna have time for his damn family soon enough. Like, but that's the sort of company, those are the sort of people we're gonna see go to business, and that it's gonna affect the business more than the corporations. And that's how I see it. But there's probably, for every one corporation, there's probably 5 to 10 small mom and pop businesses, whether it be boutique, restaurant, something, anything like that. Okay, but the thing is, though, is even if you lose money, right? What we're saying is if you have a USD, right? If you have a kaspa and you have a kaspa stable dollar, Kaspa is great to hold as an asset because it's going to fluctuate, go up and down, right?
Yep.
But when you go to purchase something, are you going to want to use something that you can make money on, or do you want to use something that you know what the value is when you buy it, and it's going to hold that value forever and ever?
Well, not completely the exact same value per object, but at least the same
but
value.
it's going to hold $1 at least.
Yeah.
It's going to at least hold a value of $1 or something else.
Yeah.
Right? To me, as an asset, Kaspa is a good asset. As a transactional piece of currency, it can use some work. But Kaspa being a asset, it's a phenomenal asset. You look at what it's done over the last 2 years, or a year and a half, I should say. Right? As an asset, it's done great. But as a transactional piece of currency, how can you send, like, for example, Laz, he had a, I don't want to bring this up, Laz, his family made him he paid for a friend's medical bill.
No.
Do we want to continue, Laz? Are we going to get Laz to cry on camera?
Yeah.
Laz essentially lost $230,000 because of a medical bill that his mother made him pay for.
Well, no, it was actually indirectly. I helped a friend pay a medical bill. Then my mom got mad at that and made me sell my crypto to recoup that cost, basically.
Okay, but here's the thing, Coinology. You're in Los Angeles, probably one of the most inexpensive places to live, right? Of anywhere in the world, right? You're also talking, okay, if crypto works for you, use Kaspa. But what about the small people from, the middle of nowhere that, want to use crypto? What about the people who are in these smaller towns? Like, my whole province has about 1 million people.
Yeah. And it's the size of my country, which has 18.
You know what's sad? Which is sad because you know what? Probably in the one block of, there's probably a block of LA that has that 1 million people.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm not saying that it's going to be a worldwide adoption, but to the people who are on the outskirts of these towns and, want to use crypto, but want to use it in a meaningful and stable way because, safer way, it's going to be good as a stable asset because it's fast, it's quick, and if you can hold value with it, you can use it as an RSP, for example, even, right? Because you can put money in there and it'd be the same amount that you put in 5 years ago.
One of the things with taking it for payments is most companies start with taking Bitcoin for payments because that's just the thing that's known the most.
Yeah.
And Bitcoin's slow AF. So a lot of these companies are going to very quickly, once they see how many people are trying to pay in crypto, are going to be looking for an alternative. That's when things like this come up. You know what I mean? Because if you have a mom and pop that gets set up with somebody like you and I, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, we want to switch from taking just Bitcoin to taking things like Kaspa or Cardano or whatever else they're going to take.
Yeah, Brave and Coin.
That's when they really could start seeing problems if they don't have someone who's educated come back in.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they don't have
So I agree with a lot of what you're saying. We don't want to see mom and pop stores getting effed.
No, and that's my thing. I don't, you're in LA. There's a lot of people there, right? So $1 there is going to do a hell of a lot less than $1 is in the middle of effing Pennsylvania. Middle of the boonies in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, or like Nova Scotia.
Or even probably $1 will probably go longer ways near New England than it will in the city that's half hour away from you. Like,
yeah,
the city of the world.
It's
like,
just,
even at my event venue, you get a lot more bang for your buck than you do at one in the city. You know what I mean?
That's not that far away, really.
Yes. Yep.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, we should see a stable version of kaspa for the old. I'm not gonna say for old people, but for the older generation of business owners that don't know as much as
you just mean to help with mass adoption.
Yeah.
Not even that, because here's the thing: mass adoption, you know, it might take a long time to get mass adoption. But what happens if there's 500 small business owners and 90% of them don't know what a crypto is but want to accept it because it's the new thing?
Yeah, look at
or
all
that
these.
Their grandson, or that their grandson said, "Oh, you should start accepting crypto, Granny."
Yeah, look at all these like
right?
that already accept kaspa itself.
Those grandkids might not know a lot about it, except that, oh, crypto's new. They might not know how it works,
crypto's cool,
and how volatile some of these projects can be.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But it's the same with like taking credit cards. You have companies that set up your transactions.
Oh, yes.
You know what I mean?
But
it's not like you're going to just take crypto and like all of a sudden you're just like text messaging people your wallet address.
Here's the thing though, Art. No business is going to start accepting crypto willy-nilly without learning how it works. Yes, but here's the thing though. You think about all these miners. They learn from somebody how to mine. But all miners have a different strategy to how it works. All miners have a different perspective on what mining is to them. All miners have a different perspective on the markets. We all have a different perspective. So if you don't have somebody who actually knows everything about crypto teaching these small businesses, different businesses are going to get different advice that could possibly not be true, because somebody's like, "Oh, I'm starting crypto, but only been doing it for a year or two and don't know how to do it right." Because you in a big city, and here's the thing, you in a big city, you have a lot more access to smart people. There's only 14,000 people in my town, and I've had some crypto equipment listed for a long time. There's been nobody from my town contact me about it. It's all been from the city, 2 hours away, and New Brunswick. I've had people from PEI, which is over 3 hours away, contact me for it, but no one locally has messaged me about it, which worries me, because when this shit happens, everybody is going to be looking for the people that know crypto or trying to sell crypto equipment and say, "Help me, please."
Yeah.
Because they don't know what it is.
Yeah, but it looks interesting, and I want it.
Exactly, and that's what worries me, because a lot of, like, how many people have grandmothers or family who do what they say because the younger generation has smarter. It's been more adversed, I should say, into the virtual currencies.
Yeah, like
my mother, when I started crypto 2 years ago, she was against it because she works at a bank, and she's seen people get scammed because of these Bitcoin machines. I'm like, Mom, it's because the government isn't doing nothing about it to share info on these people, like what it is. People have, like, my mother's had elderly people come in the bank that got scammed out of $5,000 because they were told go to a Bitcoin machine and send this money to them. And it's because the elderly people don't understand it. And that's what I'm saying. We need to have something stable so the elderly people can use it, and not be worried what it's worth day to day to go to the grocery store. If they're getting $50 to go to the grocery store, in a week they should have $50 to go to that grocery store if they haven't gone yet. Because in my town, at least, more than half of the population of my town is elderly people. We have probably 1, 2, or 3 nursing homes in my town, and that's not even a lot of them. Like, one of them's pretty freaking big. And I mean, a lot of people around here live at home, even though they probably shouldn't, but they do. Like, you look at my grandmother. My grandparents knew nothing about crypto, and so I started talking to them about it. Old like me, sea otter mining. What's up, man? Fellow Nova Scotia.
Hello.
Right.
I'm gonna have to head out pretty soon, guys. Right. Just a heads up.
Yeah, we'll probably wrap up here soon, anyways.
Yeah.
It's late for Laz. It's almost bed. It's past his bedtime.
I was gonna say it's past his bedtime, isn't it?
It's
depends.
almost 11.
Yeah.
It's 11 o'clock somewhere. With Laz's house.
Yes.
But and that's my only thing. Like I'm 100% for kaspa as a project, but it needs to have a way for adoption to be safe adoption is what I would like to say.
Yeah, eventually, like our generation, like Power and Mine, will get older. We'll get our own stores,
and we'll get wiser.
No.
You know, but there's some people that won't be as wise. Like you think of now, even just in
like
the last
you look
couple
at Power.
months.
Okay.
Oh gosh. Oh my gosh.
But it won't be your generation New England crypto that actually sees, you know, this sort of payment plan become widely accepted. It will be probably Lazzeruz Mines. You know, you'll probably see a good amount of it, but
yeah, Power just
when me and Lazzer in 20 or 30 years, we're probably going to see crypto more widely accepted.
That's fine. Yeah, man.
So,
every year, every cycle.
Yeah.
So, I think that's probably where we'll wrap it up. And if you're looking for hardware, check out New England Crypto. Go subscribe to his channel if you haven't already. He's pretty good on the good old shorts with a pink GPU.
Or else.
Oh, the Yeston GPU does so well.
You should
go subscribe to his channel. Also subscribe down there.
Can I just say something? You should get a 12 GPU frame, like one of those AAA wave style.
All Yestons?
Yep.
I wanted to at the beginning.
I mean, you could probably. I'm actually curious. Laz, I'm taking your spot.
Sounds good.
Yes, done.
Actually, gotta stop.
Let's just see. I wonder how much they are right now. Shopping. Ooh. That's one heck of an interesting GPU.
Yeah, you got to be careful going down this rabbit hole, dude.
Yeah, it can get expensive.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, that's Elsa's GPU.
Oh, there's a whole bunch of different versions. They all come with stickers.
There it is,
the Yeston ones are so cool.
There it is.
That's a 6650 XT. Oh boy.
Yeah, but they're 6600, so.
It's
the drivers for the 6650 suck.
No, it's a. Yeah, but that's pretty much the GPU.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah,
it's pretty.
It's pink.
But that would kind of be a fun thing though for you to have, like just a rack of 12 of those.
Yeah, Stella and I were gonna do it at the beginning, but
it'd be a not. Can I speak? Obnoxious, but it would be interesting.
I'm sure I'm gonna have a bunch of those builds in this next bull run, especially with Stella and such.
Nice.
Well, Stella's getting to the age now that you can actually do that sort of thing.
Yeah, she wants to like vinyl wrap frames so the frame can be a specific color and. Oh yeah, this is all definitely bull run content. When there's lots of people searching for this stupid shit.
You're getting the first hand. You're getting the first hand. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
Camo dipping.
We've got plans for some really cool content stuff that I didn't get around to doing last time. So
here's the question, New England. When I have to assemble these 40 freaking frames, should I do a 24-hour stream?
It would probably be about a 240-hour stream.
It's going to be almost 3,000 screws.
A lot of it's repetitive, though, luckily.
Each one of these suckers takes 8. There's 4 per frame.
Oh, yeah. I know all about those things.
We need a screw counter.
Yeah. So.
Like every frame, you just press the button. It gives the amount of screws you put into that frame.
Oh my gosh.
Right.
Oh shoot. All right, it's 5 o'clock. I gotta go.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Thanks for having me, guys. It's good to see you. Good to talk to you.
It was awesome. Yeah. Good talks. See you. Well, there I was together with chat. Hi. How you all doing? You're in the Matrix now. Oh, hello, Power. How you doing?
I'm back. There was a giant deer under our apple tree in the backyard. Yeah, I need to go yell at it to get it away because we don't need another car out for the count.
Yeah. New England had to go.
Yeah.
And probably we're going to wrap it up here.
All by myself.
All by. That's all we can do before copyright claims.
Glug, 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 glug.
I'm gonna fill this up, this cup. I'm gonna drink
and go to bed.
Yes.
So, here's a question.
Yes.
I actually want to see a vote in chat. Should we do a stream where I have to assemble all those frames together in one stream?
You will die.
Well, I'd rather get them done in a day than have to spend 2 days to do it.
Yeah, so if it doesn't get finished in that day, you have to finish it the next day. On the same.
Well, technically, it might go into. It depends when I. It depends when I go to sleep.
The next day.
Because remember, because here's the thing. Depending on when I started, if I started at like 12 p.m. my time, so that's like 11 p.m. No problem, New England. Thanks for coming out, man.
Oh yeah, I should probably give you an entire playlist of music that's copyright free.
Yeah. Well, we're working on it, but
yeah. Yeah. Thank you all for being here, by the way.
We're probably looking at over 3,000 screws.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. As long as I could open all those frames, you know, realistically, I could probably get 40 frames done in 20 hours. That's 30 minutes a frame. Depending on how I do it. Because I also have thought about some other ways how I can do this, Lance. You know how you had the corner posts? I've thought about something. What happens if I just make all the corner posts together and then put in the bottom trays, right, on the 4 frames, and then put in the cross braces?
Okay.
Or get a screw gun.
We'll see on the next episode of Powermines Crypto.
Go?
Yes, where can this shit go?
Welcome to Powermines doing dumb crap.
Yes.
But, so somebody said stream it. Who's going to be there for the whole stream? That'd be the next question.
I will be. I might sleep through it, but I will be there.
You're going to be fucking doing... You're going to be doing this. What?
The amount of naps I had the last week it's atrocious. Atrocious.
Night, night, Laz.
Good night.
No, Laz is going to be dreaming of his frames in his sleep tonight.
Nightmares. Nightmares.
Well, at least we haven't made the decision of ordering 16 extra, so because that could be a real dumb decision.
60 more? Oh no.
16. We don't have the money. But if we did, we probably would.
I mean, my bank account's gonna cry.
Hey!
Anyways.
No, it's gonna be the anonymous donator that's gonna donate them.
No, go! Another 200 frames.
I swear. If someone actually donated enough for me to have to buy another 16 frames, I swear to God, I'll punch them.
Physically. That's a threat. No, that's not the threat, by the way.
You know what we should make? We should make a dono goal. We should literally make a dono goal, Laz.
Yeah.
That's like stupid. Like, I mean, enough to build these 3 frames into the rigs, and I have to do it in one stream, nonstop.
Let's just have a $1 million dono goal for like facility 1 complete.
No, Les, like I'm dead serious. Let's set like a $30,000 dono goal and say Powermines, depression, death on
Yes.
62-hour stream by Powermines.
Yeah. Orbital strike, Powermines.
No, dude, because that'd be 600 GPUs I'd have to screw into a frame.
Yeah.
With motherboards, with risers, with power supplies. Freaking set up all the drives for it. Change my life fund.
I like how my chair is slowly manifesting itself just now.
Like, dumb idea? Check.
Yeah. Right.
Alright. Before we say any more stupid stuff, let's get out of here.
Yes.
Good night, everybody. Thank you for coming into the stream. Who knows where our dono goals can be tomorrow? But
yeah, 5 million.
Yeah, that. No, seriously, guys. Okay. Can I get a check? Actually, before we end, let's get some numbers in the chat. One, should I actually figure out how much it would cost to get 3 walls fully built and assembled, and put the goal to that, and just see what happens, or do we just be realistic and set the goal for like a little bit more and just say phase 1 of 20 phases done? I'm actually curious to see what people do. Because listen, if we get
15 minutes.
If we bought the GPUs and the frames and all the other stuff to do it, I would set everything up in one stream nonstop. And Laz will be freaking hungover because he will be like drinking Red Bull.
I don't even like Red Bull, but probably.
Dude, you're gonna take a sip and it's gonna be like that laser-eyed cat. I'm actually curious if people would want that, or if people want me to live my life for the next 20 years.
Yes.
All right.
Goodbye, everyone.
Good night before I say any more dumb ideas.